Okay, so part two. So as we were working on the bending, like this, our video cut off, and then we were working on twisting, bending the spine this way. You have to know if you don't train those and you're not aware of it, then how are you going to be if you're doing this in your swing? So you need to train for that, and then we're going to go what's efficient. So we're going to go across and here. So it looked like incorrect would be actually like this, so it would make your golf swing look like that. Or if you went back normal and you're coming around, that's coming from this movement. That is not attacking with the right shoulder, that's attacking with the whole back side of the spine and rolling it, and you're collapsing the spine on the front side, extending it on the right side, and collapsing on the wrong plane. So what we want is like, all right, so then we go here and here. So what that looks like would be here and here. If I went down lower, if I drop my arms back, that's here. That is not there and there. So it's helping you understand spinal movement. Okay, so we'll go on to the next. Now, here's one. Again, all these are for help too, because you're bending your spine, even if you're not doing it in golf. You're bending your spine in different places. You're becoming aware of spine stability and instability and what's strong and what's weak. And then you start to look at your patterns relative to your golf swing, and you see, movements like this and through, or like that, and you start to understand that we're looking for a certain movement. Okay? It won't always be the same, but you'll start to understand what you do, start to correct to the new movement, and then you can start to use that against the golf ball because you know now what it feels like and you're aware of it and what you need to do for the correction. Okay? Just overall feel the body. If the only thing it teaches you is to become aware of your body just for general health, it's worth it. This is absolutely worth it. If you just forget the golf swing stuff, you need to become a good spinal health and bending your spine and moving it, and moving your feet and your hips, your pelvis, and so forth. I feel wonderful. So now, what we're going to do is the clock. Now all these are fantastic, and these I didn't come up with all on my own, but these are some of the guys that I've trained with and ladies that I've trained with that I've learned some things even outside of the Tai Chi world that have really helped me with some of these things for good spinal health and good awareness as well. So not all of this came from Tai Chi, Qigong, but I would say somewhere down the road there's masters out there that had been doing this before as well. I just didn't run into them. So anyway, so this one here, you push your pelvis forward. So you're going to go, you basically push your hips forward. You're not using your knees and your feet this time. So you're going to push your hips forward. We're going to call it 12 o'clock. Because it's a clock, so you're thinking of 12, 6, 1, 7, all that. And I'm not really great on the clock thing. I've not used it a whole lot, but for therapy, I think it's phenomenal. So you just go forward, back. You don't change your knee flex. So I'm trying to keep my knees the same thing here. They're in the same position. So if they're flexed here, a little soft like Tai Chi, I would go forward without moving my posture and back. That's 12 and 6. Here's 1 and 7. So that would look like face on 12 and 6, so I'm going forward and backwards, not breaking the structure of the spine. I'm not giving up my structure. I'm still here. I'm going to go over here. We're going to call that 2. We're going to call that 7. Now, I'm not giving up my knees and my feet. Just here and here. 7, right? So then we're going to go from there. We're going to go 3, side to side, not moving my pelvis. Side to side. And I'm not collapsing my knees. I'm not bending my head. This is all stable. Side to side. Okay? 4 and 10. So you get the point. You do that on a clock scale. Okay? That's the pelvis. Alright? So guess what? You get the neck now. So that's the cervical part of the spine. So we've got the pelvis. So when you're doing this, don't break posture. It's the knees here. You come up with the hips. You go back. There's the knees. There's the pelvis. See, I've kept my structure here. So it's back and forward, back and forward, side and side, but my structure stayed the same. That's my point. Now, on the next one, the neck. So we're going to go same thing. We're going to down and up. Do not break structure here. So it's just like this, real strong connection to the earth. really here, bam. So then it's back and up, so it's 12, 1, 7, 2, 8, 3, 9, and so forth. And you work your way into a circle, and then you reverse it and come back around. Same with the lower body, same with the neck here. Now, what we're going to do is teach your spine to bend. So we've worked on the pelvis, we've worked on the neck, and now what we're going to do is we're going to bend the spine. 1 and 12, 2 and 7, and then 3 and 9, and I think you get the point. You work yourself on a clock, and then you reverse that coming back. So now we've hit the entire spine, essentially, for the clock. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. I'm sure it does. You need to just don't break whatever you're working on. If it's pelvis only, don't break your knee flex, don't break your structure. Just isolate the pelvis. If you're working with the neck here, don't do this. If you're working just on the hips, make sure when the spinal bend, that you're bending back, you're bending down, the knees stay the same, and then you're going to go over, but your structure stays the same, connection to the earth. Okay, so with that being said, same thing can be done with the arm. So it's not really the clog, but you basically, what you want to do is you go open and close. We'll call that opening and closing. So that's just here and here. So you just get familiar with that. You'd be surprised if you're limited here. There's some players that can only turn their arms about right here. There's some that can open them all the way up. And you just get familiar with opening and closing. Okay? And then you can make that more if you want to make it more, but that's just good to kind of open up the forearms and a little bit of the shoulders. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to work into chi building. So we've worked on our pelvis, we've got our body temperature up just a little bit. I know if you're in great shape, probably not much, but most people, their body temperature will be up a little bit. And so now what we're going to do is kind of what I call the waterfall. And it's just as simple as this. Your palms are away. It's right in the center of your body by the dantian, which is right here below that. You're going to go up. And notice I'm not going all the way up. I want to go up to here. I'm keeping my structure. And down, and I'll start to sink a little bit. And I'll go up with my body, so I'm going up. And down, up. These are silk reeling movements. It's designed to be silky. This is not it. This isn't it either. You're going up slow and wide. And you feel, these are internal movements. So you can see somebody that's dancing, or it's kind of like a dance move. If somebody was going like this, that looks the same, but their mind is not concentrated on the movements. This is about concentration. It's about being able to concentrate on the movement, but you're able to make physical movements, so it helps the body, mind, and health. So you're feeling like you're pulling the water up with your fingertips. It's just pulling up like an elevator here. It's just pulling it up like a waterfall. It comes up and then it falls off like this. You sink down. These are concentrated movements. Okay? Breathing is definitely in with this. So you inhale, hold for a dead breath. At the top, that's transition. That's your pause, and then so it'd be dead breath. Then you'll start feeling like eventually you'll start feeling the tingling in your fingers as we do this, and you'll feel the electricity in your fingers, and it'll be that thick feeling like it's electrical current working through. And then what we'll do is we'll pull that back into right around chest level here with your hands, and then you just keep your hands slightly moving, like vibrating a little bit, just a little bit, not like this. That's not it. You got to keep your palms matching each other and go in small circles. And then as you go in small circles, do that I'll just do it with you here. And you're concentrating right on the middle. Your hands are just outside, right on your pecs here. And you're just concentrating, making them shake a little bit, but you're very relaxed. Shoulders up will not work. Elbows tight will not work. trying to squeeze something tight, you have to be super relaxed, let it all go into the ground through you. But you're full right through here, okay? So I can feel that, and then all of a sudden you'll start feeling your hands connect with each other. So then what you do is called bouncing hands. You bring your hands back and forth just like this. And you'll start feeling electrical current like a magnet hitting right in between. Now if you don't feel this, that is not all bad. It's okay. You may not have it yet. You may have to relax more. You may have to get your posture right better. You may have to go through a little brisker warm-up, more of these, because you need a warm-up. And it needs to be concentration. And all of a sudden when you get here, and you have, again, it's not like that, it's not like this. Their palms are facing each other, elbows are down, relaxed, shoulders are down, good posture, and then you start to feel this, and then all of a sudden you do little circles back and forth. You'll start feeling the hands connect with each other, and then you start bouncing the hands like this. And then you can see I'm creating a little wave right here. Not like this, not like that. Just a little wave, so it feels like I'm just bringing them in like a little bit of a wave. So I've got a wave coming in from this side like an ocean wave. I've got an ocean wave from the other side. So it's like this. It's a great way to feel it. And then all of a sudden you just start to let them come together. And I can feel my hands really tingling now. So now, even though I'm teaching here, I can feel the connection. It's much harder to feel the energy and electricity because my concentration is not on the movement near as much as it would be if I was not teaching here. You want joint alignment, just like your golf swing, so you don't want to be doing it like this, everything facing the iPad. Soft knees, so it looks like this. You've got structure that we talked about, that rooted structure and softness. Heaviness into the ground, softness through here, but not limp, not like this. So limp through here, right? Structured into the ground, but this is full. It's not stiff, it's just full. So if somebody came to hit it, I'm not moving, but yet I'm very relaxed, okay? So how will this help you with golf? It teaches you how to flow so you become more silky. It teaches you, if you watch these movements, as I go up, I'm going kind of tall. In transition, I'll start to sink with my legs. So, and there's the strike. And we're doing it in a really graceful manner. But that could be it could be this, it could be smooth like that. You know, you're teaching yourself how to build control, okay? And have to have this silky feeling. So not collapsing, not this collapsing feeling, but this full feeling. That's the fullness that we have here. That fullness right here. So then you're full, but you're relaxed, and then you can use that against the golf ball. Okay. So those are ways to build chi. Then you'll come back and hold your hands kind of steady and concentrate for 30 seconds again after you've done that. After you've done these. So you've done this, you've done this. And then you'll come back and hold for 30 seconds, build your concentration up. I'm not going to do that now. I can feel that. I'm just barely moving here and relaxing, feeling it, becoming the whole thing, relaxed and centered. All right. And then what we're going to do is work on what we call the S drill. So the S drill looks like this. It's your arms will start over here across your body. Your hips are a little rotated like your golf swing. Similar to here, but you're not bent down and all this stuff. So you're here. You're going to go across. And if you watch, I'm going to shift my weight, work in a circle. So it look like this. So I'm going in a circle. Don't continue. Don't try to twist. You go into a circle and shift your weight. Sink down. Circle. Shift my weight down. Circle. And then we're going to end right here. We can go lower, but it's not good for the knees with this narrow stance. And then we'll pivot back. And then we're going to go up. And then down. We'll go to the other side. We'll go up. Transition. Here. Notice I'm not doing this. Sink down in between the root, between both feet, stage 2 videos, where we talk about that. And here. We'll start to lift up after the arms are back. Sink down here. Okay, then we're back where we started. So we're going to go up. We'll go all the way up. Let's get all the way up off feet. Try to find where you are in space. Sink down into that. Get torqued up. Don't squeeze, but just get torqued up and feel this. Get cooled up. If you see yourself and you look like this, you look like that. If you look like this, you look like that. Get yourself, push your hips back like we talked about. Get the depth and get torqued up and loaded. So you're going to go up here tall. Your arms will go straight down, not this way. They go straight down. There's no pulling. Connect with it and just relax here. There's the first part of the S. Then you'll let your arms go. You don't keep twisting. You let your arms kind of go by themselves. You sink down again. Let your arms go after your hips are a certain amount right here. You don't want to keep twisting your hips. You let your arms go away from your hips. And sink down again. Keep the level. Don't pop up. Keep the level here. Let your arms go without your hips, and then you will start to go more. Now we'll kind of just rise back up. Okay, so there's your golf swing, what we're working on, where we talk about the float. You're here, you sink down, you relax. You don't turn left. You sink and let your arms relax. So it's like this. And then they go forward. That's the same thing. So this is training your brain without a club, which is great because it makes you not think. You learn how to sink. So you're going to go from kind of tall to creating depth and sinking with torque without rushing back. And then you come through. Essentially, it's the same thing if I just did that. But what we do is here and let your arms go. It teaches you how to do that. Sink. Back. At the top of this, because this is essentially our backswing if you're riding, you're going to stand up a little bit and then you'll sink down. Don't keep turning. Let your arms go on past your hips right here, nice and wide. We'll go up and then we'll sink down and relax and go through. So that working on the S, what we call the S, you'll see in Tai Chi they do a lot of forms. Some of it looking like the yin and the yang symbol, but it looks whole body like this. It's really good for health. So everything we did was working on circles. We created the S. So when you go to Fa Jing, a lot of times when you're doing like a backhand, the S, as it comes back, the coming back part is the hit. So as you're looking, as I'm doing an S, you go 1 to 1. In a golf swing, you're just going to go forward. Don't even think about it. But when you train and you're doing Tai Chi, when you go to hit, it's not going here. You're learning how to go here. And the pulling back like this is the power. So you would see like this. So you can see as it's probably hard for the camera to pick it up, but you express the energy as it comes out. And then when it comes back, you don't just go here and pull back. It lets it out and comes back. That's the same as in boxing where they come in and they strike like this and they pull back. The pulling back, if you can time that right in between here, so if you watch, if it's here, that right there is where the energy comes out. If I just go here, there, that's a form, right? But if I just go here and stop, that's good too, that's better. But that right there, where you expressing it and coming back, that teaches you how to, it's the same thing as that's called a shaking energy. That comes from learning the S posture here. It won't mean a lot to you if you're a new person into Tai Chi, but if you've been around it and you start practicing, you'll start to understand that wave coming back is equally as important as the wave going in. So we'll call this the wave going out. If I just go out, it looks like this. I express the energy. I learn how to shake at the end of that. That's great. Then if I learn how to shake and pull back, then I have kind of an offense and a defense at the same time if it was martial arts. But it also teaches you how to, because in golf you're not going to be hitting and coming back. You're going to be coming and going, you're swinging through, but what it'll teach you to do is you'll naturally start to release. It releases the whole body. It's not your arms and all that. It's the entire everything that's coming out. And you'll have that, the shaking part will come out without thought. And it has to be without thought. If it's done with thought, you will not be any good. That's why you try to learn. You have to become what you're trying to be in golf. Okay? You can't just go out and say, all right, I'm going to be a real patient golfer. good luck if that's not who you are. You have to kind of become that on the outside part, away from golf. You have to, if you want to become a scratch player, you have to become that not even on the course. You have to become that off the course. The things that you need to do can't be a one-time deal when you're only doing one thing. You have to do it as a whole. You need to become that. That's what this does, is it teaches you how, when you're practicing these drills out, does this help you with golf? No. If you're understanding what you're working on in your golf swing, like in our program, absolutely it will help you, because we're teaching you the patterns to work with. We're teaching you how to do it and apply the energy for the specific sport, which is much easier than Tai Chi in my opinion. But how's it helping then? It's teaching you how to feel and become aware, and guess what? It's teaching you how to become that as a whole, and not as just a one-time deal going out as a swing thought, hoping it works one day when you're not really living it. So this is more about living it and becoming it in your everyday work, becoming a happier person, a more relaxed person, but very strong and powerful as well, not this weak stuff like it may sound. So it's becoming kind of everything, true yin and yang. So hopefully this really helps you, and I look forward to working with everybody here in the future, and I'll have this video up hopefully here in the next hour. And off with your Tai Chi. This covers quite a bit of information. I love your responses. I know everybody sends me a lot of emails and so forth, and obviously I love that. And it doesn't always have to be positive. Obviously I like positivity, but in reality I understand some people struggle more than others. But it's amazing right now how many positive responses I get relative. I can't remember the last negative response that I had from the online players, and so I know you're taking personal responsibility for your game, and that's certainly paying off, or I wouldn't be getting the emails. But this will hopefully help you take that to another level. I've really held back on the Tai Chi, not because I've been trying to. It's just because I have to be really careful with what I put out, so I don't make players too technical. And so it sometimes takes me longer to put things together. And I put a lot of time and energy with like how I was going to release this video. Even though it's not your golf swing stuff, it certainly will, if you become it and start training like this, it may lead you into martial arts one day, which will help your golf game. It may lead you into a healthier lifestyle and build chi and the 7 chakras and so forth. So it may lead you into other things that along with golf. And if it only helps you with the golf, that's great. If it helps you with other things that you may have personal battles with, like we all do, we all have personal battles that we have to face on a day-to-day basis. And that's what this is all about, is helping people learn how to become a certain thing, not just trying to fake it on one little thing we do in everyday life. So anyway, I hope this really helps you, and thank you for being in our program.